Lamont, ever brought up race as the defense? I'm black and literally everyone in my matter was white. The CCRC, mediation in California, every therapist, and the 730 evaluator. Cultural IQ or lack thereof is a reasonable defense. So we actually had a pretty long conversation about race and family courts last night. And that was one of the pieces that was brought up, is that what's acceptable in certain cultures and in certain socioeconomic backgrounds, and what we know about family courts, pretty for the most part sealed, but what we know about racial biases in criminal court and what we know about racial biases in terms of employment issues. So in criminal court, it's very, very clear. The darker the color of your skin, the longer your prison sentence will be. If you take a white male, and a black male, and they have the same background and they commit the same crimes, the stats say the black man will spend substantially more time in jail. There's that same gap and divide between women and men. If you have a man and a woman, we'll just say a black man and a black woman commit the same crime with the same background, the woman will spend significantly less time in jail. Now, my hypothesis, knowing that data, is that men of color are probably the most at risk in terms of being wronged in the family court system. It doesn't matter your race, your color, your socioeconomic background. It doesn't matter any of that. You can get yourself screwed in family court. But if I was a betting man, I would tell you that all the numbers point to it's probably more challenging for men of color. And I think you make a good point. I made this about the about DCSS here in California, or just child support in general. Generally, you're going to be working with white females. The kind of support staff around the courts in general are white middle-aged females. Is kind of the demographic. And so I do believe there's probably some cultural things that get missed. And on top of that, I don't think we can discount the societal or cultural pressures on people from different backgrounds. When I see certain types of certain races, when I see an African American man come into my office, he's getting certain pressures from his family, her family, his circle about what's right and what's wrong, and that's not necessarily true. You can say the same about Hispanic cultures, and quite frankly, you see it much less in say white or Asian cultures. Those are the four demographics that pretty much all of my clients fit into. So I think there are societal pressures. I think there's systematic bias that occur. And I think there's cultural, they don't understand culturally what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So I really do think that that's an issue, and that's something that I think we skim over. But if you go to, it's probably about 2 hours into last night's show on We the Parents podcast, there were 4 or 5 of us that hopped in and had a conversation on this. But yeah, absolutely. There's no way you can tell me that race isn't a factor in family court.